This is gonna be trying to answer Trade Chaser's question. I'm gonna kind of fly through it because I'm running out of time here. He was mentioned one time about my trades looking kind of whimsical, and they will, because I work full time and I can't take them all. Sometimes I will take a trade that looks exactly opposite of something I should be taking. That's just the way it is, and I'll explain that as quickly as I can right now. I don't expect anybody other than Trade Chaser to make any sense out of this, but trust me, these ones mean something to me. Those zeros mean something to me. Those sevens mean something to me. Isaac Asimov had Multivac. He fed his information in there, and Multivac came back and told him what to do. It's the same way with MetaTrader with us nowadays. You feed information into an expert advisor, and it comes back and it says, sell the GBP AUD. Or it might say, put a trailing stop on the GBP USD. It tells you what to do. Now, if you're working full time, you may or may not be able to take that trade. So you might pass up some good ones. And then also, there's always what you're fixing to see, where trades are exactly the opposite of each other. So let's, is this what I want? Okay, so what I did was to try and explain it to him. I asked him to choose one of these three, or one of those six, or whatever. Because at some point, and I've said this many times, the actual entry signal is almost immaterial to me. It is. It's almost immaterial. I can use any or all of those. It doesn't matter. He chose the AO, and he said AO crossing the zero line because I needed a trigger. Then I posted this chart, and I'm not going to go into this, it's too much. USD Swiss, the last wingding is the awesome oscillator. A red arrow down means that awesome oscillator is below zero. A red cross means the awesome oscillator crossed below the zero line. That's his signal. Red down. Lime means it's above zero. A lime rectangle means it crossed above zero. All right. So that's just nothing. Where he just said he'd buy, because I asked him what would he do, buy or sell. All right. So now let's get to the important part. Okay, I'm gonna kind of go fast. Awesome oscillator, zero line, 30-minute chart. It crossed above. In theory, you want to buy when it crosses above. Cross below, in theory, you want to sell when it crosses below. Let's look at this a different way. It crossed above. Do you really want to be buying? Imagine you had 5 standard lots. And think of the drawdown. Do you really want to hold 5 standard lots? Imagine here, say you were 5 standard lots long. Do you really want to hold those during this drawdown? Think of what I've just said there. Here, crossed above, in theory, price goes up. Crossed below, in theory, price goes down. Let's look at it a different way. When it crosses above, in theory, we want to buy. Do you really want to sell when it's crossing above? Keep that in mind. 240 chart, crossed above, price is in theory supposed to go up, crossed below, in theory supposed to go down. Let's look at it a different way. When it crosses above the zero line, do you want to sell? Wouldn't it be better if you bought? Do you really want to sell? Keep that in mind. Daily chart, which is what we were on when we had this little signal thing there. Crosses above, theory, you want to buy. Crosses below, and it didn't go down much, theory, you want to sell. Same principle. Let's look at it a different way. Crossed above, do you really want to sell? I mean, really? Crossed above, theory is supposed to go up. And this right here was actually the day that we were talking about where he made his choice, which was a good choice right there. I placed a bunch of trades there. I bought a bunch, posted the charts, posted the trades, and they every single one of them, no losers in the bunch. All right, so now I think we've said two things. Let's go back to the 30. I think we've said two things. In theory, when it crosses above zero, in theory, we kind of might want to buy. Don't have to buy. When it crosses below, we want to sell. And the second thing we said was, when it crosses above, we really don't want to sell. And when it crosses below, we really don't want to buy. And we said that on every time frame. Now let's go back to where? To here. Okay, here. Whimsical part. Remember the last wingding. This was the exact day that we were just looking at a while ago on that daily chart where it crossed above, where I said he made his decision, and it was a good decision. We had a buy signal. The exact same time we had a sell signal. Now, didn't we just seconds ago say we really don't want to be buying when it's going down? Yet if we take that buy, we're doing just exactly what we said we didn't want to do. Let's say we took this sell. Didn't we just seconds ago say when it crosses above we want to buy, that we don't want to sell? You can sit here and you can have a buy, a sell, a buy, a sell. You can have different indicators. This is an awesome oscillator. We might have had the stochastic RSI. One of them might say buy, one might say sell, the next say buy, next say sell. It is a menagerie of signals. You've got to take something, and it's hard to take them all. So what I do, I feed all this in to MetaTrader, just like Isaac Asimov fed it in a multivac, and it spits out what it wants me to do. And it will look whimsical. It will. There's too much going on in the market. You'll pass up trades. You'll take trades that oppose what you just said you didn't want to do, and so it's going to be whimsical. And that's, I think that's about whimsical as I can get today.